What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge for another early signing day special video. This one, signed, sealed, and delivered, comes to us from the state of Mississippi, 6'7", 290-pound offensive lineman, Isaiah Autry, three-star offensive lineman that Bill Bedenbaugh is able to put together with an already elite class, making this 2024 offensive line class probably the best under Bedenbaugh's regime since he's been there, Jay. This guy's 6'7", 290, like I said, can add some weight to that frame, get above 300. A guy that's probably going to play the interior offensive line. Maybe not, though. We'll see where he goes on that. But second cousin of Marcus Dupree, so there is a Sooner connection. But expecting some good things from Isaiah Autry.
I think he's a prototypical tackle, and I think that's what he's going to play at Oklahoma's tackle. I mean, 6'7", I don't see him on the interior at all. I see him being a tackle. And you look at guys that Bill Bedenbaugh has really developed, some of them 3-4 stars, and this is another one, 3-star that at left tackle, right tackle, wherever we're going to put him, I think he's a guy that can really be a solid player for the Sooners in a few years. And some of these guys are just underrated for Bill Bedenbaugh. Some of them are. And he's really good at getting these players to the next level. You've seen multiple guys that were 3 stars in the NFL for Bill Bedenbaugh. So I think it's if you go back and see about his recruitment when he came to Oklahoma, took his first official visit, it was kind of like he was committed then. And he said, they're committed to me, I'm committed to them. And that was it. I mean, he's pretty much all in guy. And love to see that. Love to see that it didn't take long for him to make that commitment and be a part of this class, which, like you said, it's a great class for the O-line, really highly rated class for Bill Bedenbaugh, one of his highest rated ones. And so really excited to see him in Norman.
Yeah, and you mentioned how Bedenbaugh was able to land him pretty quickly after the visit. The likes of Alabama, Auburn, and other schools from the South were after this guy that he was interested in. So I think anytime, obviously, you can land take someone from those schools, it's impressive. He's out of Mississippi. I talked earlier about the Marcus Dupree connection. In my opinion, Jay, this guy, his reach on pass protection, the way he's able to use his hands on the outside, just an elite lineman. Probably underrated. I think he could very easily have been a 4-star.
Yeah,
he probably 3-star, upper 80s on his ranking.
He probably is a little underrated just because, I mean, a guy that's 6'7" on the offensive line is, I mean, you can develop a lot of things on a guy that has that size. And I've said on some other videos, size and athletic ability, that makes a difference going to college from high school. It's a big jump to go from high school to college, but when you are 6'7", you have that size, it makes a big difference. And I think he's got a little nasty in him too. And we all know that Bill Bedenbaugh loves that. And my thing is, okay, how long do you think before I see him more as a couple of years down the road guy.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that a year or two under Schmitty's workouts is going to do this guy very well because, again, you're sitting at 6'7", you're at 290. Some of these other guys are coming in at 6'5", 320, 6'5", 310. There's no reason that Isaiah Autry can't get to 6'7", 320. You come in there at 6'7", 320 in a couple years with the footwork that Autry has shown. I think then you become an elite tackle. So I think they can be patient with Autry because of the class that they have coming in. I'm not going to sit here and say that Isaiah Autry can't compete for a job. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying size-wise, I think they would like for him to get a little bigger on that, whether he plays left or right side. I just think they'd probably want him to get above 300 pounds, being in the SEC and the tackles and the ends that he's going to face. Now, sometimes being 290 isn't bad, especially on the edge. Lane Johnson is a guy that plays tackle in the NFL. And now, he's huge, but he's also a very tall guy. And so sometimes he's not, if if you compare him to other offensive linemen, he's not as big weight-wise as some others. And that's sometimes okay on the tackle position, Jay.
Yeah, and like you said, I think the big thing is OU is now in the SEC. There's no more recruiting for the Big 12. You're in SEC country, and some of the defensive ends, like you said, are I mean, it's next level football, and so I think a couple of years will really do him good. But you mentioned the class that they have coming in, but also the class they already have on campus from last year. I think that young group with guys like Heath Azida, you got Jake Taylor, Jacob Sexton, Joshua Bates. A lot of those guys aren't very old as a Sooner, so they still have a few years too. So you can really develop under them, and I think that'll be a big benefit for guys in this class, especially guys like Isaiah Autry. But I see him being a tackle. That's why I see him being at Oklahoma. And listen, I'm no expert on offensive line or anything. I'm just saying what I see is him with his size and everything being a true tackle for Oklahoma. And he's going to have some great quarterbacks to protect. So,
oh, for sure on that. And I don't think there's any hurry to get Isaiah Autry in the lineup. You mentioned the guys that were just mentioned, Jay, that's on this year's teams. You got the portal guy that's coming in, Spencer Brown. Chance of maybe some other portal guys coming here. And then you got in this year's class, like to the likes of EPL, Josh Isosa. I'm going to miss some.
Brooks.
But yeah, Eugene Brooks. I mean, there's a lot. This offensive line.
Daniel Anthony.
Oh, Daniel Akinkumi. Yeah. It's got a chance to be probably the most special group. We know in potential it's there, Jay. The potential of this group is unmatched, unparalleled in Bill Beatenbow's recruiting history here at OU. It's top notch. Now it's got to play out. It's got to play out. It's got to gel together. And these guys got to find their way onto the field. I don't think it will be early for Isaiah Autry. I do think we're looking at a year or two down the road. But it doesn't matter. You still got to get guys. You got to build depth. You got to have a lot of guys because you never know what's going to happen with the transfer portal. And Bill Beatenbow, kudos for getting Isaiah Autry.
Yeah, and I think him. I look for this offensive line. I know a lot of people have talked about EPL and Brooks, whatever, and other guys, but I think Isaiah Autry could be kind of a diamond in the rough with this offensive line unit. Between him and Daniel Anthony, I think those two guys, to me, I think they can have a bigger jump than people expect. Isaiah Autry, yes, 3-star guy. Okay, that's what he was ranked. But I think he's better than that, and I think you're going to see that at Oklahoma. And I think you'll see Bill Beatenbow do great things with him.
And there you have it. Isaiah Autry, 6'7", 290, offensive lineman out of Mississippi, is a Sooner, signed, sealed, and delivered. Thanks for watching the Sooner Surge. If you're not subscribed, do that immediately. Turn on those push notifications and keep watching. We appreciate you. Till next time, Boomer.
Sooner.